Finally, another live with the best fans in sports today. College football fans, brothers and sisters. It's amazing. Just like I say all the time, it goes by like a blink of the eye. And college football season is almost over. I'm getting sad. I'm getting anticipating the who's going to be in the playoffs, but at the same time, I don't want to wish it away. You know what I'm saying? We're in week 9 of college football now. My team, Alabama's off this week, so I don't have to sweat it out like the rest of you. So, see who we got up in here already. We got Thunder OU's up in here. Who we got? Lori Brogdon's up in here. Jack's up in here. Jack says Lincoln Riley isn't going anywhere because he found a sucker with USC giving him that 10-year, $110 million contract. Stink-ass Cat's up in here as well. I looked it up, and pneumonia from several weeks, like 6 weeks. He wasn't sick at the press conference or when he's yelling at the refs. So that was a 3-day case of pneumonia. Actually, to Linky Boy's defense, which I don't like to do, stink-ass cat. To Linky Boy's defense, he was coughing up a lung at the press conference. I don't know if you watched it. You know, the one where his players didn't show up? You know, I done a little video on that a few days back. What gets me and irks me about that whole thing is we know good and damn well that he wasn't doing that to be this Braveheart. He acts like he's damn Mel Gibson from Braveheart or some shit. Like he's doing something great, that he's protecting those players. See, that's the problem I have, man. Like I said in the last podcast, they want to be called kids when the hard shit hits the fan, see? But when it's all glamorous and you're getting paid by the NIL, they're all about it. But if you want to get adult money, if you want to make adult paychecks with your little NIL deals and whatnot off the back of these universities, you know, everybody talks about how the universities make money off the back of these poor old kids. If it wasn't for these universities, these kids, which they're not, by the way, they're young men, these young men would not have a platform to showcase their skills so they could apply their trade in the NFL. So all this bullshit, you know, I used to be all about maybe giving them a little bit of money. But the more I think about it, the more I think, I'm like, you know what? It's just like in the minor leagues, right? You don't get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. Well, of course, some of them do. But they don't want to earn their way, see? They just want to go out, make the money, and then not abide by any rules. But hell, the NFL even has rules, right? The NFL has tampering laws and trade agreements and contracts, and if you don't show up for a press conference, your ass gets fined. Those players that were scheduled to be at that press conference with Lincoln Riley should be fined a percentage of their little NIL contracts, like 25 or 30%. What do y'all think? See who else we got up in here. Our badges are up in here hard and strong tonight. Zach Hammer's in the house. What's going on? OCF, what's going on, brother? Justin Goss is also in the house. Good evening, everyone, he says. I'm right here. What do you mean, where am I at? Can y'all not hear me? Let me see. Tell me if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? I'm having technical difficulties tonight. Let me see. All right. Well, Lori was saying, where am I at? Lori must be hitting the sauce tonight. Is that goofball over there, USC skill shitter, USC Jackass, whatever his name is. 1989 M is in the house. 1980M says, best show on YouTube here. Good evening. I'll shout out to the one and only OCF. Appreciate the hell out of you, brother. He's a brave soul. He's a Michigan fan, a Wolverine, nevertheless. And I'd like to show you something real quick, Wolverine, if you don't mind, sir. I'm going to get your thoughts on it. You see that? Says here that TCU knew of Michigan's alleged sign stealing prior to the college football playoff meeting and used dummy signals in the game, per reports. It probably explains why TCU was actually able to actually beat Michigan, because they knew of the supposed sign stealing that was going on by Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. Didn't help much against didn't help much against Georgia, though, did it? Right? Tell me what y'all think about that. Do y'all think this is an enormous deal, or do y'all think it's something that'll just be shelved by the NCAA and just, they'll make it go away and hope that people forget and that kind of thing? Do y'all think this is a serious infraction by Michigan? You think they should be punished like post haste? Because the college football poll is about to come out, the playoff poll. And projections, I saw a projection poll the other day that actually has Michigan number one. So should Michigan benefit and possibly win a national championship by stealing people's plays and knowing what they're going to call before they call it? What's y'all's take on that? Snake Ass Cat says the NCAA wants to put the hurt on Harbaugh. Just wanted to get your real quick take on the whole Michigan situation there. 1989M. Can't even speak tonight. 1989M says, looking worse and worse for my guys. As a fan, I'm heartbroken. That's really all I got. Harbaugh is arrogant as hell. I agree with you. I actually was. I thought Harbaugh was a pretty funny guy. He trolls the hell out of people. Sort of like Lane Kiffin. I always thought, man, it would be a great matchup if Lane Kiffin and Harbaugh were to match up in a bowl game or a playoff game for that matter. But now it comes out that maybe Jim Harbaugh is not on the up and up, and that is heartbreaking because I think a lot of people don't like him because he's quirky. But I think it's good for college football to have those quirky characters out there. What do y'all think? Got a lot of badges up in here. As I said before, Justin Goss, Stink Ass Cat, among others, are up in the house tonight. If you want to get your badge like those guys and get deputized and be in the Outlaw Posse, it's not but $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. It's just a little join button next to subscribe button. If you are on an Apple phone, you may have to go to your laptop or computer because Apple phones do not mesh with YouTube memberships. You'll get your badge, you'll be deputized, you'll get your random Four Horsemen shout out, as I've been doing on the actual podcast, as well as possibly be the comment of the day. Also, if you want your comment pushed to the top where I can read it out above the others, there's a little dollar sign at the bottom of this video. You click on that, write your comment out, then hit send. If you don't do that, you won't get your comment highlighted, and it'll just send a blank donation. I want to make sure you get your money's worth. But if you want to do that, just hit that dollar sign, write your comment out, and I will read it out and I will address it. Senator Ross says this Michigan stuff is crap. Time for college to use headsets and the helmet like the NFL. That's a good point. I did not know colleges did not do that. Are they not allowed to? Is that some kind of rule, Senator Ross? Just curious. I'm just not sure. Johnny Fairlane in the house and his $4.99 donation, and his comment is same thing I just said. Johnny Fairlane into his house. Oh, you didn't know? Did y'all like that little multi-comment I sent out to a bunch of you? My friend Marty Keene, who's a high school buddy of mine, he thought I should send it out to everybody. I said, I already done it. TBOW is a pudding. You can't take the heat. I went to all regressed OU games and the team. That is true. What's up with TBOW? You know, I hate to feel like Nostradamus here, but I feel like Nostradamus here. I really do. I've been saying all along that this guy, he's a shady little character, man. And a lot of people want to know, well, you know, why are you always on his ass? Why you grilled him all the time? He only did what everybody else is doing. He's getting players out of the transfer portal, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but it was a little more shadier than that. First of all, like I've said ad nauseum, y'all probably heard me say this 1,000 times, but he was recruited for USC with a staffer before he actually took the USC job. He can lie and say he didn't all he wants, but he did. And then he took a bunch of Oklahoma players. No other first-year coach has ever had to come in and deal with that kind of stuff. No first-year coach ever until that year. Everybody that was hired that year, the same year that Brent Venables was hired, had to endure learning how to do the immediate transfer portal as well as having their first-time gig. That's a lot. So you got to really, really admire Brent Venables for that. He was able to come in as a first-year head coach, never been a head coach. And on top of that, he had to learn the immediate transfer portal. This ain't like back in the day where you transfer and they have to wait a year. And it deters them from doing that. Now they can just transfer out and immediately play. And he basically undermined the Oklahoma program. There should be some kind of rules like tampering. It looks like the NFL. They want to do all this stuff and have all the glory and the glam from it, but they don't want to have any rules in place. And there should be some kind of tampering rules to prevent that kind of shit in the future. Jack Acker's in the house. What's up, OCF? Hey, if TBOW goes to the NFL, imagine if TBOW's daddy, Kyle Whittingham, does the same with Cam Rising and be his first opponent. That would be something, but I doubtfully that will happen because, first of all, I think Kyle's getting a little up in age, and I think he's about to actually retire, Jack. That's what I'm hearing. Cam Rising, I think he's just going to take off the rest of the year. He's not going to come back. I guess he don't want to, risk his possible NFL career. And another thing, as we've seen, TBOW is called into work the last 2 practices, probably now 3. And a lot of Oklahoma fans have been telling me that he sort of did this shit when he was at Oklahoma. Is that true? Was he missing practices and missing press conferences before he left out in the shady manner that he did? And like I said a couple weeks ago, he's already setting himself up for this, saying that, I'm starting to think maybe I should retire early because my mentors, Mike Leach and some other dude that I don't even know who he was, they had a lot of health issues and probably passed away from stress related to college football coaching, which is horseshit, by the way. I mean, to try to set up you an exit plan at the behest of a man's death shows why I throw your ass on the grill all the time, TBOW. In case y'all don't know, if y'all new in here, TBOW, not Tim Tebow. TBOW stands for the bitch out west. But now he's saying he's got pneumonia. If he does, and I guess that's pretty harsh. Maybe I need to apologize. But no. I don't know, man. I guarantee you, I seriously doubt if Nick Saban had pneumonia. I doubt Nick Saban misses any practices. If it got really bad, he might miss one, but I kind of sort of doubt it. I'm just saying. Something don't seem right. It's like he automatically gets sick right after a couple losses. Really? Yeah. Well, we tried to tell the USC fans, did we not, Sooner Nation? And I'm an Alabama fan, and I'm like, man, anybody can see this from a mile away, man. I mean, come on. Johnny Fairlane with a $4.99 donation. That SOB done everything he could to ruin OU football. I completely agree, man. That's why I'm on his ass all the time. And another thing that's been coming up, Caleb Williams, Mary Caleb Williams fingernails, seems some rumors out there that maybe he's thinking about sitting out the rest of the year. I'm not normally on Mary Caleb Williams' side, but can you blame him? I mean, his defense is not going to help him. He's going to end up getting injured possibly. They've already lost 2 games. They're not going to make the playoffs unless there's some kind of miracle rash of multiple double losses by a bunch of teams. Now, they could still win the Pac-12 title, but who gives a shit, right? The Pac-12 is not going to be around after this year. I know. John Kirk and them talking about the Pac-2. Poor old Oregon State and Washington State. I wish someone would take them in. I'll talk about that in a second. But if you want to get your comment pushed to the top like Johnny Fairlane just did, there's a little dollar sign at the bottom. Just click on that and make a donation. Make sure you type your comment out first and then hit send button. And I will read it out post haste because I can't get to all the comments in here. We're up to 77 people already, and this is early on. So we're probably going to be hitting the 100 viewership mark here shortly. Brian Biswell says Venables' wife is going through cancer treatment, hasn't missed anything yet to my knowledge. Damn! Boom! That's a good one, Brian. That's a good one. That's a good one. So you mean, Lincoln, you can't just go to practice? You know, you can't just chill out and, you know, be on the sidelines and whatnot for practice? You know? You got Brent Venables' wife who's dealing with cancer, but you and your players can't show up for a press conference? I mean, you did. You tried to act like you Braveheart and shit, like you Mel Gibson getting your testicles nailed to the damn throne up there. But that's good, Brian. That's very good. I don't know if you meant for me to make that relation, but that's very, very good. That's very good. Thunder OU Center says USC paid $6 million buyout to TBOW. Now it's Grinch contract. Oh, you got USC to get rid of Grinch. You think? Mike Wilkerson's also in the house. He's got his badge. He's been deputized, as you can see. Lincoln done everything in his power to destroy OU culture, and I rank him worse than Schnellenberger. I used to like Schnellenberger, to be honest with you, man. He was responsible for the creation of the Miami football dynasty. A lot of people try to give credit to Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson, but that was mostly Howard Schnellenberger. We got another donation. Appreciate the hell out of that. Rye Guy 1218 says Lincoln Riley is a little light in the loafers. Would not surprise me, man. Because, you know, you may be new to this channel. I'm not sure, but as you know, we call USC the Skittle Shitters in here, Rye. And there's a good reason for that. I'm sure you can probably decipher that. I try not to talk about it too much because I'm pretty sure that it's pretty self-explanatory. But there's a reason why I call them Skittle Shitters. But I'm just not going to get into it because there's little censoring pansies out there that, you know, they want to talk shit and make fun of people, normal everyday Americans. But if you make fun of them back, oh, hell, they're going to tattle on you. They're going to get you demonetized, all that good censorship, coward shit that they do. As Dark Iskiness pointed out here, if you don't mind, jump out of the chat just for 5 seconds. You can jump right back in. Just hit that like button, smash that like button, and it will hit the algorithm for me and push us out to a bunch of other folks out there and get this college football party really crunk. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button as well as that bell, because they're separate. Because if you don't hit the bell, they won't notify you when I'm up and on the air or when I post it. Finally, there's a Stokes up in here. I was starting to worry, man. I was like, damn, I done run the Stokes clan off. Heath Stokes has his badge. Good evening, Outlaw. Just checking in. I feel the Outlaw Nation is growing. Keep up the real work. That I will, brother. That I will. We're just talking about Linky Boy up there losing his bowels and stuff and coughing up a lung, and now he's not showing up to practice, Heath. What's up with that, man? And then you're going to talk about, his players can't come out there because he just don't want them to take the heat. Really? Alice Stokes in the house with a big $10 donation. Hey, Outlaw, keep telling it like it is. I'll do it as long as I can, Miss Alice. I'll do it as long as I can. But I have a feeling that eventually I'm going to end up on Rumble or somewhere like that because they're always trying to put me on limited ads and that kind of stuff. But back to the whole players not showing up to the press conference. Y'all really, does that not reek of cowardice? You don't come out there and back your coach up, really? You don't sit in the back and pout while the Utah, I found out it was the Utah people that were playing. Utah people were playing the music really loud to, for whatever reason. I thought it was USC locker room doing it. I was giving them hell about that. But still, even if it's the Utah locker room, show some balls, go back there and talk to Kyle Whitty now. Say, man, could you ask him to turn it down just a little bit while I do the press conference, and then y'all can continue your little celebration. It's not going to do that, though. You know why? I think y'all know why. I'll let y'all answer that question. Why? Lincoln Riley didn't go back there and tell them to turn that music down. Howard Schnellberg was a drunk at OU. Well, I'm going to tell you something, sir. Bear Bryant was a drunk at Alabama. I ain't going to lie to you, man. The last couple of years that Bear Bryant was the head coach at Alabama, from what I'm understanding from my father and a bunch of other older Alabama fans, he had this tower out there on the field. You climb up in that tower, and everybody thought he was watching over practice. He's basically up there drunk and passing out, from what I heard. And some Alabama fans probably going to get mad at me for saying that, but it's just it's pretty common knowledge that Bear Bryant was an alcoholic, and it probably is what killed him. Jack says, yeah, these YouTube censors are pieces of crap. Somebody hit the report button on me, and it blocked me from renewing my subscription on my account, so I had to start using this one. Yeah, I've had a few people tell me that they're trying to shadow ban me a little bit, but there's a good way to keep them from doing that. Just keep on sharing me out. Just keep on sharing me with your friends. That's the only thing I can think to maybe offset that. Johnny Fairlane with a $4.99 donation. It's my fault I mentioned the locker room music. Sorry. Oh, no. I'm just saying. I thought it was USC at first. Even though you might have been the one that told me that, I thought that as well, and found out it's Utah that was doing it. But still, go back here and tell them to turn that shit down, man. I hate to keep harping on this, but tell me, what do y'all think? Y'all not think it's a bitch move not to come out there and back your coach up? I mean, come on. Seriously? You can't back your coach up on the podium? Even if you told me to stay back there. If I'm Caleb Williams and I'm the Heisman Trophy winner, I'm Big Daddy Cool. I'm gonna just sonder my little ass out there, and I'm gonna back my coach up. If y'all do that shit in the NFL, you're gonna get fined. I guarantee you, Mary Caleb Williams' fingernails is gonna end up just like Vince Young, man, because he's soft in the head mentally. There's over Eric Blomquist. He doesn't lay down the law tonight. Eric Blomquist come with a big $49.99 donation. I feel like I'm doing an infomercial or some shit. I love the show. What do you think about Michigan cheating? We sort of went over that a while ago. TCU, actually, I saw an article on TCU, Eric, that said that TCU knew that Michigan was stealing signs before the game and had dummy place set up, and I think it was their Big 12 championship game or some shit. I don't know. That don't sound right. I mean, because how TCU know there's going to be playing Michigan? So, I don't know. I'm not really buying that about TCU, but I do know this, Eric. I think that I'm sort of torn in a way because I sort of like Michigan. I used to like Jim Harbaugh because he's quirky and he used to antagonize people. You know, I like to antagonize folks too. So me and Jim Harbaugh sort of like. But his over-the-top quirkiness and his frat boy attitude, like you can't touch me. It's like he's not really scared of anything happening to him. Can you blame him? The NCAA has become really weak, in my opinion, Eric. Nellie Martin with a big $10 donation as well. Hey, Law, thank you for the birthday wishes. Love your show. Yeah, I sung a little song for Nellie. I guess I should have posted on here for her. And I was fixing to get to that, actually, when you brought that up. Because Heath Stokes is probably the best damn nephew of all time. He asked me to give old Nellie a shout-out as far as her birthday, and today is her birthday. I'm not sure. She might have turned 21 today. So if you just turned 21, Nellie, let us take you out for a drink sometimes and get you a little liquored up, man. Let's see what you can do on the dance floor, Nellie. But irregardless, whether you're 21, 51, or 101, happy freaking birthday, Nellie Martin. Woo! Thunder OU says Darkest can ask Cal Turd also said that USC needs 18 months. Cal Turd is eating crow. Y'all don't let him eat that crow now. No. Don't let him eat that crow. Hell no. No. We're going to keep grilling that ass. He's right on that grill with everybody else, man. He sure enough is. But back to what Eric was talking about. What do y'all think about the Michigan thing? Do y'all think it's a big deal? I didn't really think it was a big deal at first, but then I watched the Monty show the other day. And I normally don't agree with a lot of their stuff because they got some liberal leaning kind of crap. But I think it's a big deal, man. And, you know, con time Deion Sanders, they asked him about it, and he's like, oh, it's not a big deal because you still got to stop it. Therein lies why I don't like con time. He's okay with the cheating. And I like Michigan. Love their helmets. Love their fight song. One of the best fight songs of all time. Probably the best fight song. I won't piss no Oklahoma people or Alabama people off or Ohio State people, but probably one of the best fight songs of all time. But con time's an idiot. I mean, yeah, you still got to stop the play, but if you know where the play's going con time, it makes it exponentially easier to stop it. But how can you not expect that from the one they call con time, Deion Sanders? Or should I say, we should start calling Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley, or not even Lincoln Riley, at least Lincoln Riley showed up for the presser, right? But the USC players should be called no-show Trojans, right? Because they pulled a complete no-show at their press conference. Mike Wilkerson says, yep, it is cheating and it should be held accountable. But that was a great question, Eric. We just went over that just briefly, but I'm glad you asked it again because, like I said, at first I didn't think it was a big deal. But now that I look at it, it's absolutely a big deal. And the problem I have with the NCAA is sometimes they just see dollar signs like they did with Cam, or like to call him Scam Newton. And they went ahead and approved him for that Oregon game. They absolutely cheated. Him and his father was paying off. Actually, they paid his father off, bought him a new church and everything. But they drag their feet when they want to. In this instance, they might drag their feet through the end of this year and into next year just so they can let Michigan play in the playoff. Which if I'm a Michigan fan like 1989 M is, he's a great Michigan supporter in here. If I'm a Michigan fan, I would want probably for Harbaugh to be dismissed immediately so we can get this shit out of the way and move on in the future instead of letting it linger. Because if you go ahead and go to the playoff now, then they're going to punish you later. So why not get it out of the way now? I don't know. That's a hard one to call, to be quite honest with you. 1989 M says, me and my pop started going to the games in September of 2000. 2 decades of special times with Dad. He's a UM grad, late 80s. Very sad what's happening. Very. Go Blue. You're a very good fan, man. Because most people probably get on here and probably start cussing me out. But I'm not really saying anything that anybody else is not saying. And I actually think I'm being a little nice about it. I don't know. What do you think they should do in 1989? Do you think that Michigan should set out these playoffs and show the NCAA that they're, trying to handle the situation properly and then dismiss Jim Harbaugh? What do you think, 1989, Jim? Crime time, huh? So you call got another nickname too, slime time. You got crime time, slime time, con time, anything but prime time. Like I tell them ad nauseum, man, I'm like, you begged and pleaded for everybody to call you coach in the press conference like they do Nick Saban. They start doing it, and then you want to add something to it. You want to attach a request to it, a demand. Not even a request, a demand that they call you Coach Prime. Like I've said numerous times, it sounds like a cartoon character to me. It sounds like Transformers or some shit. Like I've said before, it's like Coach Optimus Prime Jackass or something. Darth Inskines says, I feel for 1989M. Sucks for the true fans when schools get caught in a scandal. I know completely how you feel. Alabama went through something similar in the early 2000s with the NCAA and Thomas Yeager, who basically told us we were staring down the barrel of the gun of an SMU-type penalty. What pisses me off about that is while Alabama probably deserved to be punished, there was other teams doing the same thing and worse. LOI, which is lack of institutional control, was labeled on the University of California at Berkeley, Cal, and the University of Kentucky during that same time period, which is supposed to be an egregious crime on the NCAA dockets, and yet they were punished less than Alabama. What happened was Gene Stallings threw one of their enforcers or NCAA agents out of his office in the 1990s, and they had a little bit of an axe to grind. Not to mention Tennessee and Phil Fulmer had a money trail through Western Union on T. Martin, who was a quarterback at the time for Tennessee, where they were paying him. And for Tennessee to not receive a penalty for that, they did a quid pro quo deal with the NCAA to take out Alabama. And they almost did. But karma has come full circle. And the same thing's happened with Oklahoma. Karma's coming full circle. Rather quickly, I might add. You had one little down year, and now you're back full, almost full. Not quite. I know you still got a ways to go, 7-0, but you already won more games this year than you did all of last year, so that's something, right? Fred Bagley in the house with his badge. Hey, fellow Outlaw fans, jump over and hit that yee-haw like button. Damn right, hit that like button. I'll give you yee-haw. Like button pushes the algorithm for us, gets more people in the party. We got almost 100 people in here now. Very good night so far. Ride Guy 1218 says, no, they should make Harbaugh wear Lululemon yoga pants. Did I say that right? Lululemon? We got a Lululemon here in Tuscaloosa. Is that what that place is? They sell yoga pants and shit? A lot of comments coming in here. I can't get them all. If y'all want to get your comment highlighted and push the top like Eric Blomquist did, just hit the $sign at the bottom of the video. Make sure you write your comment out first after that. Then hit send. And that way you get your money's worth. It'll push it to the top. and I'll read it out above the others, and I will address it post haste. Mike Wilkerson says, I was an OU fan. Mike Wilkerson has his badge, by the way, which is a membership to the Outlaw Posse. I was an OU fan when we went through our probations. The first on after Fairbanks left, we were an eyelash away from the death penalty, but we persevered. SMU still to this day is the only team that got the death penalty, and they really destroyed their program. So likely they'll probably never do it again. It's almost, I ain't going to compare it to that, but they were really good. SMU was really, really good in the 1980s with was Eric Dickerson and Pony Express. What's that guy's name? His son got put in the outhouse by Mike Leach and got pissed off and shit. They were really good. They were a top 5 program until that shit happened. And then they went through like almost 30 years of just being absolutely crap. And now they're just now recovering, and they got in the ACC. Brian Biswell says, got put on probation in the 80s, also along with Oklahoma State and Texas A&M, believe. Yeah, them Southwest teams seem to get on probation a lot. But here's a fun fact for y'all. Since y'all like grilling on the USC Skittle shitters, here's a fun fact. USC is the most probation team in NCAA history. They'll have you believe that the SEC and the Southwest are the cheapest programs out there. But actually, if you go to ncaa.org, you'll see where USC's been on probation more times than any other program in college football history. So there's your little nugget for the day. I want to go over something real quick with y'all while I'm thinking about it. This is a projected, I'm going to share this with y'all. This is a projected BCS poll for next week. This week's BCS poll they're saying would look like this. You will not see number 10 in the picture. Number 10 in the picture was Oregon. They have number 9, Penn State. Number 8, the Texas Longhorns. Can y'all see that? I'm going to exit out of that. And let's pull up the other one for y'all real quick. Hold up, we got a donation. Actually, we have a new member mounting up, saddling up, and ready to go. He's got his badge. He's now deputized. Rye Guy 1218 will now get his random 4 horseman shout out on the actual podcast, as well as possibly be the comment of the day, as well as other perks that I'm trying to install as well. So I appreciate the hell out of that, Rye Guy. Appreciate you joining the Outlaw Posse, brother. It's always good to have another soldier in the Outlaw Posse. Now let's go back to this. All right. I'm going to share this with y'all. There it is. Number 7, they say, would be Alabama. Number 6 would be Washington. And number 5 is Oklahoma in a projected BCS poll this week. Of course, you know the official BCS poll comes out next week. So 7 Alabama, 6 Washington, and number 5 is the Oklahoma Sooners, according to CBS Sports' projected BCS poll. Pull up the last one for y'all. Actually, it's not the last one. There it is. And number 4, Florida State. Number 3, Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. And it goes without saying who number one is. Number one is the Michigan Wolverines. So that's the projected BCS poll. If it were to come out this week or come out this past week, this is what they say it would have been like. What do y'all think about that? I really like the fact they got Alabama number 7, of course. Darkest Knez has his badge. Yeah, I was born in the early 80s, so didn't live through the scandal of the early 70s, but still remember Switzer scandal because my dad was an OU faithful, was mad about everything happening. Is that why Barry Switzer got dismissed? Didn't he get fired or asked to resign because of the NCAA investigation? Is that right? Y'all tell me. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to ask y'all something else here in a second. Mike Wilkerson says, the only thing about 73 is my good friend Grant Burgett went out early with a knee injury for the rest of the season against Baylor. Oh, that sucks. Teresa Moser's in the house finally. I was giving Teresa hell earlier about not showing up to class. She's getting, you're going to get tardy. You keep getting tardies, Teresa. And I'm going to get Killer Breeze or maybe Mike Wilkerson because Killer Breeze, I think he done dipped out on us. Maybe Heath Stokes. Maybe Heath Stokes could be. You keep being tardy for class, Teresa. And I'm going to get Heath Stokes to put one of them Oklahoma leather belts across your ass. We still believe in paddling around here. You know that? Heath Stokes says, guy jump 4 a.m. comes early. Where is TBOW coaching next year? Chargers, Bears, egg rolls, because it won't be USC. Well, I can tell you this. If he is a coach in the NFL next year, it'll be as an offensive coordinator, in my opinion. Because if there's any team out there dumb enough to hire him after they've seen what he's done at Oklahoma and USC and the fact that he cannot adhere to even a simple defensive philosophy of any kind, then they deserve what they get. And they'll probably lose about 12 games, maybe even 13. He'd probably be like Urban Meyer in the NFL or some shit. The egg rolls is a possibility. The Nagasaki egg rolls of the Japanese American Football League. He could definitely be the punting coordinator over there. I'm glad you brought that up because my boy Killer Breeze, he likes the whole egg roll reference, although he seems to be missing from class today. You think that's funny? Huh? You think that's funny? Oh, you ain't scared. You know what I used to tell a buddy of mine, some buddies of mine in high school, when they say they wasn't scared, Teresa, you know what I told them? You ain't got to be scared to get your ass whooped. The bravest people in the world are the ones that usually get their ass whooped. Right? Nate in the house. Nate says Caleb Williams will be a poster boy, a girl, for the LGBTYXZ, LMNOP, CIA, FBI community. Who married Caleb Williams, man? He can't even show up for a press conference. His coach out there coughing up a lung. I don't know if y'all heard it. He was coughing pretty hard, so he probably is sick. Out there coughing up his lungs all by himself with Utah blaring that BS in the background, and they left him out there. They just left him out there. And TBOW will have you believe that he took one for the team, but he didn't. What it is TBOW couldn't get him to come out there. Y'all got me calling him TBOW all the time. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. TBOW, the bitch out west. Lincoln Riley didn't have the balls to make his team come out there. They're a bunch of no-shows. And that's what they've done the past couple of weeks. They've no-showed. Yeah, I know they almost beat Utah. But Utah has probably got one of the worst offenses right now. They haven't had Cam Rising all year, and you're going to let them beat you? I guess we found out, like I said earlier, we know who's the worst now. USC defense or Utah offense? USC defense is the correct answer. All right, now I'm going to get to something real quick. We'll get y'all's prediction on something. Y'all may not want to do this, I don't know. What is it? The biggest outdoor cocktail party is this weekend. I know they don't like you calling it that because the politically correct jackasses out there want to get up in their feelings about every little thing, man. You could just your shoes could be untied and they'd lose their damn bowels. But the biggest outdoor cocktail party between Georgia and Florida is this week. Florida's looked good off and on throughout the year. You don't know what you're getting with Florida. They're a Jekyll and Hyde team. But this is a big game for Georgia. Brock Bowers, who was their main offensive threat, he's a tight end, but he was their main offensive threat, is out. And I think he's going to be out. He may be out for the rest of the season. If not, he's going to be out for at least 3 or 4 weeks, sort of like Quinn Ewers. Do y'all see Georgia being able to right the ship and beat Florida? Because I'm thinking they might get upset. Without Brock Bowers, Georgia does not beat South Carolina. Now, a lot of y'all may not realize it, but South Carolina was up on Georgia 14-3 at halftime. This wasn't like in the first quarter. This was halftime, half of the game. They were up. And Georgia come back and won 24-14, but most of the offense was through Brock Bowers. Had he not been there, guarantee you South Carolina wins that game. I don't know Georgia. Everybody's talking about Alabama not making the SEC title game. It might be Georgia that doesn't make the title game because Missouri's sitting there at 7-1. They only lost to LSU, who's in the Western bracket. So if Missouri runs the table and they beat Georgia, guess who's going to the SEC title game? It ain't Georgia. Not only will Georgia not three-peat, they won't even repeat as SEC champions. So we want to three-peat? No, because Alabama won the SEC championship 2 years ago and then lost to Georgia in the national title game. Heath Stokes says, good night. Outlaw, love you, give them hell, bring the posse with you. Georgia will fall, mark it down. I'm with you, Heath. I think it might be an upset this week. And if not this week, they still got to play Tennessee and they still got to play Missouri. And while Tennessee did lose to Alabama and Florida, Tennessee probably should have beat Alabama. And I'm an Alabama fan. They were up 20-7 at halftime. They had a couple of turnovers deep in Alabama's territory early on that could have broke the game open for them. And they got field goals both times. So Tennessee could have, should have, would have. A lot of them were blaming the officials. How ironic is that when last year Alabama's the one that got jobbed big time? And I don't normally blame officials. If y'all go back and watch the Tennessee game from last year, you'll know what a real screw job is. And I know the Oklahoma and Texas fans can relate considering the Big 12 put the screws on y'all last year, both of them. Man, I'm stomach's over here growling. Y'all done got me worked up, man. Got me sweating, breaking sweat in here and getting hunger pains already. Michelle in the house at Thunder OU Center. It's true. Just looked it up. It's called Faculty, and it's for men's grooming and nail polish. Well, now, y'all having a little conversation about something I'm not real privy to. See what we got here. Tom Piper says Georgia beats Florida 31-21. That sounds about right. Nobody can beat Georgia? Seriously? Seriously, John. Come on now. You really don't believe it, right? You think Georgia's going to go undefeated and win it 3 years in a row without Brock Bowers? I just don't see it happening, brother. I just don't. They were lost to South Carolina had he not been in the game. Your tight end has kept you from losing games. What does that tell you? It tells you they're right for the picking. Now, well, they blew out Kentucky. So what? Kentucky does this every year. They start off strong, 5-0, 6-0, and then they proceed to do what we used to call Clemsoning. But because Clemson won a couple of national titles, we can't do it no more. So we'll just call it Kentuckian from now on. How about that? Georgia will lose a game, by the way. No, Georgia will not win the title, John. They might win. Tell you what, John, they might win the East. They might win a division title this year. But they're not going to win the SEC title, and they're not going to win the national championship. Lori Brogdon says, John, someone will beat Georgia. They have to, because I don't want Georgia to beat OU's record. They're a long way from 47. I think they won, 25 in a row now? I think it's 25 in a row. Jack says Switzer got in hot water for buying one of his players a plane ticket to go home to his daddy's funeral. I remember hearing that story one time. But here's the thing, man. They've been doing this for probably 80 or 90 years, man. All this crap about NIL and stuff, man, it's just made it legal. That's all it's done. Matter of fact, I don't like USC, but they should have to retro and give him back the national title and give Reggie Bush back his Heisman Trophy, because those rules, they probably wouldn't be against the rules now. Fred Bagley says married Caleb Williams' fingernails is too soft for the NFL. I agree. Hank says Bauer's jump starts the offense every time they struggle. Exactly. David Orwig, who's normally up in here, he don't like me to say that in my comments. He says he's tired of hearing me say it, but I only do that with short comments, because if you're going to give me a short comment, I just give one back, right? John Christophic says, I don't know if I pronounced your last name right. John Christophic says Texas will defeat Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game. What do y'all think about that? Nate says, hell, Switzer bought Marcus Dupree's mom a double-wide trailer in the recruiting process. He bought him a trailer? Damn, Nate. I wouldn't even admit that. I mean, as much money as Switzer makes in Oklahoma, y'all could have bought him a house like Reggie Bush. You know, USC bought Reggie Bush and his mom and daddy a house, man. Not no trailer. You don't want a trailer in Oklahoma, right? That's just asking for it. You like a golf ball and a tee out there living in a trailer in Oklahoma, man, with all them damn tornadoes. And I know how that is, because we get a lot of them in here in Alabama, too. Jack says after the turmoil that Oklahoma went through in a 6-7 season, if BV takes this team to the playoffs and can somehow pull off a national championship, he will be a legend. Yes, he will. Let's just hope he don't go one and done like Bob Stoops, right? Not trying to piss you off, not trying to pull y'all's chain, but it's a fact that Bob was a one and done. You got another new member. Chicken 1515 has re-upped. He's got his badge. He's been deputized. He's back on the horse again. He's back in the saddle again, like that old Aerosmith song, Back in the Saddle Again. It is Chicken 1515. He's got his badge. He's deputized, and he'll get his random Four Horsemen shout out on the actual podcast as well as possibly be the comment of the day. Appreciate the hell out of that, Chicken 1515. Glad to have you back. Hank says Iowa State's going to spank the Longhorns. Iowa State does seem like they have turned this thing around. They started off the year with a little controversy with the betting scandal that went on there, but it seems like they have righted the ship somewhat. And I was a little premature in my assessment of Matt Campbell as missing his window. For Matt Campbell to have turned this thing around for Iowa State has shown me that the guy is a pretty damn good coach. Matt Campbell will probably be a head coach at a much bigger program in the near future, in my opinion. You got a new card you didn't know, huh? Y'all better quit losing them debit cards, man. I'm going to get y'all shit and take all your shit. I don't know, man. He done. I guess he done dipped out. Let me send him a text real quick and say what's up with it, man, real quick. I guess he didn't show up like Mary Caleb Williams. Lori. Well, shit. Let me find him for you, Lori. All right, Lori, I'm going to send a message just for you. Say, Lori's looking for you right there. Shit. Chicken 1515 thinks that Matt Campbell would be a great hire for USC. Don't wish that on poor old Matt. I don't wish that on poor old Matt. You don't want to do that to poor old Matt, do you? Shit. Got some more games this week, though, as y'all know. Let's pull up the NCAA home schedule. Let's go down the schedule for y'all. All right. As you know, Oklahoma plays Kansas this week. I know we got a lot of Sooners in here. Normally, in the last couple of years, this wouldn't be a big deal, but last couple of years, Kansas has actually been pretty good in football. Y'all see that? Got a new member in the house, got another posse member. He's mounted up, he's saddled up, he's ready to go. He's up on his horse. He's in the saddle. Doug Fleetwood has his badge. He's deputized. He's now in the outlaw posse. You'll get your random four horseman shout out as well, Doug, as well as possibly be the comment of the day, as well as other perks that are yet to come. Appreciate the hell out of that, Doug. Glad to have you. Now, as you can see with this schedule here, let me get back to it for you. Maryland plays at Northwestern. Florida State plays at Wake Forest. Florida State might want to watch that game. Wake Forest is a sneaky good team. I think they've lost only 2 games this year. Florida State almost lost last week, and then they almost lost to Boston College early on. So Florida State's not as good as people think they are. Houston's at Kansas State. And there is the game that all of you in here really want to see, the Oklahoma versus Kansas game. That is Kansas's homecoming. Y'all going to spoil homecoming for the Jayhawks? I can't believe they made y'all homecoming. It's like they don't want to win homecoming. I don't understand that. I sure as hell wouldn't have made Oklahoma my homecoming game. Now, I'm not sleeping on this last Bedlam game. I know OSU is coming out hungry and wanting to win really bad. Man, what's up with Oklahoma State, man? What's up with Okie Pokey State? How is it that Okie Pokey State lost to South Alabama by 26? Now, South Alabama has not setting the world on fire either. I think they're like 4-3. So they got beat by a middle-of-the-road non-Power 5 team by 26 points at home. That wasn't in South Alabama, right? That was in Stillwater. And now all of a sudden they've just caught fire. I'm a man, I'm 53. I'm a man, I'm a jackass, whatever his age is. I can't remember his age. How did he right the ship? Did he get rid of some people in the locker room that were cancers? The ones that were saying, we're mad at Coach Gundy because he won't pay attention to our NIL agents and our parents. You know, I don't normally take up for Mike Gundy. I've been taking up for a lot of people that I don't normally take up for. But it's not Mike Gundy's job to pamper your NIL agents. That's another thing, man. They're going to have to do something with this NIL. They're going to have to come up with some rules, and if they get pissed off and try to sue, oh well. They come sign a contract straight out of high school that they won't sue. Curb that shit. So UCF basically has the same offense as Kansas, is what you're telling me. Well, maybe since y'all seen it already, like you say, maybe you'll be able to prevent some stuff this time. Because the defense has been giving up some yardage here lately for Oklahoma. Sort of worries me a little bit. Oh, shit. Here we go. Here we go. Obebo said Linky's coming to Tuscaloosa. He might. Saban might take him in just like he did Sarkisian and put him in the Saban car wash and hopefully wash that stain off of him. But I don't know, man. I don't know. There's some things that even Saban can't wash. And TBOW, man, I think he's got a big old shit stain on him that I don't even think Clorox and ammonia could take that shit off. Fred Bagley says OU will need to do a better job running the ball to beat KU this week. We have to get the run rolling better. We cannot play another game last week. That's true. A lot of people see the Texas score and think that, Kansas is going to be an easy out. But like I said before, that game was close until the middle of the fourth quarter. Texas had a couple of touchdowns late to make that score look like they blew them out. It's going down the list here. Clemson is at NC State. Clemson has now lost 3 games this year. Old Dabo's losing his touch a little bit, ain't he? Can y'all believe that Clemson is 4-3? And they play at NC State. Clemson could be 500 for the first time since maybe Dabo's early years, like 2012 or some shit. There's Georgia at Florida. It's not at Florida, by the way. It's a neutral site game in Jacksonville. Purdue at Nebraska. That's a game that is probably going to decide a lot for both of those teams. Nebraska is just trying to get over 500 and stay over 500 to make a bowl, hopefully. Pittsburgh plays at Notre Dame. That should be an easy out for Notre Dame. Mississippi State at Auburn. Auburn's really struggling. They lost to Ole Miss at home. Now they play Mississippi State at home. So maybe they'll right the ship here for the Barn Monkeys down there in Lee County. Who else we got? Name any good great games on. There's a couple of games. Ohio State plays. I think Ohio State's at Wisconsin. I don't see it on here yet, but I know they play. BYU plays at Texas. By the way, BYU is 4-1 against Texas. Like a lot of comments coming up in here. If y'all want to highlight your comment and get me to read it out, because I can't get to everybody's comments, just hit the little $ at the bottom, write your comment out, and then just hit the donation, hit the send button, and it'll send it on to me and it'll push you to the top, and I can read it out and address it accordingly. Now, I know what they mean, Lori. I ain't stupid. Just like in that movie, Sweet Home Alabama with Reese Witherspoon. I can't remember the guy that plays her husband in that. But he told her, just because I talk slow, don't mean I'm stupid. I know what they're doing. I'm just playing it off. Like in high school, I'm just playing that shit off. Because we know he's not going to be the head coach of Alabama anytime soon. He may not be the head coach at USC anytime soon. Yes, I would. Darth Iskines. If TBOW took over for Saban, I would definitely enter the transfer portal, as well as con-time Deion Sanders. If con-time Deion Sanders and his gold watch entourage players come to the University of Alabama, I will definitely enter the fan transfer portal. So, yeah, without a doubt. Tom Piper asks us, Outlaw, how many more years do you think Saban will coach? His health seems to be doing a lot better than I thought it would be at this age because he's under a lot of stress, according to TBOW. That's what killed Mike Leach, according to TBOW. Although I don't think it was that. I think it was Mike Leach's eating habits. I mean, he was talking about all these barbecues and all this bad food he was eating right before he died. I'd say give Saban 2 or 3 more years. I say at most 3 years, Tom. Maybe even sooner. I mean, does seem to be acting a little differently this year, Tom. So it would not surprise me in the least if Nick Saban were to actually step down after this year. But if I had to be a betting man, I'd say 3 years. At tops, 3 years. I'm so glad that God led me to the Outlaws of Watch Your Channel over RJ Young and the others first and foremost. Hello, that's the best thing to come out of TBOW Living. Thanks for keeping it real. I appreciate that, Nate. I got another guy on here, a couple of big religious guys on here. That Christian Fam channel is usually on here. He's not on here today, but he's got a real good religious channel. Go check him out and tell him that the Outlaw sent you. It's called That Christian Fam channel with the word channel in it. And also got Tim Gillespie up in here. He's a preacher. And I need to start curbing my language a little bit just out of respect to y'all. I do say some cuss words in here sometimes from time to time, so I apologize for that, Nate. Rod Guy says, I wouldn't be shocked if Crime Time lets his players smoke blunts in the locker room. You're probably right, man. And that stuff nowadays, though, is loud. I don't remember it smelling like that when I was a kid. You can smell it, that shit, man. You can smell it clear down the road, man. You be driving down in traffic and you can smell it. I don't know if it's pot or somebody actually run over a skunk, but it smells. It's like that skunk red hair stuff that people used to smoke back in my high school days. Yes, I've tried it before. I don't like it, but I have tried it. As far as legalizing it, that's another topic for another day, but just a real quick thought on that. I don't see no problem with them legalizing marijuana if they're going to have cigarettes and vapes and beer legalized. Cigarettes do just as much damage to your lungs as pot does. Beer does more damage to your kidneys than pot does. So they just can't moderate it. So that's why they don't let you. That's why they made it illegal. Kansas head coach is a lot more likely replacement for whom? For Nick Saban or TBOW? And no, I don't know about the Kansas coach. This year he's sort of starting to prove himself. I know last year was just one of those one-hit wonder type deals, but it seems like he's proven himself a little bit this year. Killback first. Lance Leopold's his name, right? I actually like Chris Kleiman, the other guy in the state of Kansas State coach. Chris Kleiman, I think he won 6 or 7 national championships at North Dakota State, and then he come here in Kansas and followed a legend in Bill Snyder and has been successful. It's not an easy thing to do. I just asked, what was the guy's name? Was it Ron Prince or John Prince? That was the head coach after Bill Snyder when he retired the first time. Prince didn't do too well, and they had to bring Bill Snyder back. And then they brought Chris Kleiman in, and we got what we got today with Chris Kleiman. Lloyd Brogdon says, do you think Saban will coach until he wins another national championship? Maybe, because the odd thing about Nick Saban's stats, he has 7 national championships, which makes him number 1 in all-time national championships as a head coach in college football, even over Bear Bryant, who had 6. But the odd thing about that stat is he only has 6 at Alabama. So he's still tied with Bear Bryant at Alabama. So if he wants both records unto himself, because he won 1 at LSU, then he's going to have to win 1 more to beat Bear Bryant in overall college football titles and titles at Alabama. But I don't think 1 more national championship is what he's thinking about. I think he's thinking more along the lines probably overall wins too, Lori. I think he wants to get that 300 win club, which is a very elite group of coaching guys that coach the game of college football. There's not many guys that's won more than 300 games. I think Saban wants to get to that 300 mark. That's what I think he's shooting for. I agree. Thunder OU Center says RG Young is a sellout. He is a sellout. I agree with that. RJ's problem is he tried to go out along with the cool crowd, what he thought was the cool crowd when the whole BLM thing hit. I don't want to piss anybody off in here that, supports stuff like that. But I will just tell you this, that when I do criticize the BLM, it's not because I'm a racist or something like that. People took the BLM and run with it just because it had the word black in it, just like Saban did. So I criticize him for it. I actually take up for minorities because the BLM, and a lot of famous minorities will tell you this too, out there, the Hodge twins come to mind, Officer Tatum, Candace Owens. They'll all tell you the BLM is a farce, and they are ripping minorities off. They're stealing people's money, and they've been implicated in sex trafficking. So I'm just trying to look out for y'all. Darth Isconnett says that's why that music was playing so loud, because they were like, F it, let's just get high. And if you'll notice, I don't say that word on here, Darth, because it's got me put on limited ads. I'll say the word fug, try to get around it a little bit, F-U-G. Just like Skittle Shitters, I will spell it S-H-I-D-D-E-R, 2 D's instead of 2 T's, to get around their silly censorship of PG-13 cuss words. Thunder OU says Caleb married Caleb Williams' fingernails looks high all the time. He might be. He's on something. He looks like he's on something. Wade Harrell in the house. BLM was started as an anti-capitalist, pro-Marxist group. That is probably true, Wade. You're probably correct on that. I probably don't need to talk about it a lot because I'm going to piss somebody off and they're going to unsubscribe to my channel because people can't take a discerning view and a difference of opinion these days. Roy Brogdon says, just saying there's an OU podcast guy that called Outlaw racist because Outlaw called Deion Contime. That did happen. I do call him Contime, but it ain't got anything to do with the color of his skin. He just happens to be black, and I happen to be white. And the only reason they said that was because I'm white, which actually makes them what? Makes them a racist, because they judge me by my white skin color. Not to name any names, but Jason Watkins at HOF Media, actually, let me get it right, because Killer Breeze renamed his show for me. HOF Marshmallow. And there he is on cue. The Marshmallow called him out as a racist. Yeah, well, HOF Marshmallow, Jason Watkins, did say that about me because I insulted his man crush. We all know that likely these Contime groupies out there, by the way, who's Colorado play this week? They play UCLA, don't they? We can talk about that. Y'all think that Contime is going to continue his losing ways? Because I sure do. I don't know if he'll win another game. He may lose out because Arizona actually looks a lot better. I mean, they blew out Washington State, which is a decent team. But yeah, these con-time groupies more than likely have a poster of con-time Deion Sanders, as I've said numerous times. I know y'all like it when I say it, so that's why I'm going to say it again. These con-time groupies probably got a poster on their ceiling over their bed of con-time Deion Sanders. And they're probably doing something pretty nefarious to themselves, thinking about con-time. Yep. There he is. I texted him for you. Y'all know what he was doing, man. Probably traumatized his dog again watching a football game. You know, he traumatized it. He was watching that Oklahoma-Texas game, man. He scared the hell out of his dog, man. I think his dog maybe dropped some nuggets on the floor. He scared him so bad. Yeah. See, I was just talking about that. I was talking about Barry Switzer bought one of the players' mother a double wide trailer in Oklahoma. I'm like, why would he do that? Why would anybody buy a trailer in Oklahoma, man? Of course, y'all believe in basements out here. Here in Alabama, we have people die all the time because we don't have basements on the houses out here. Killback First says that con-time Deion Sanders and the con-time groupies will go over. If y'all know what that is, that means they ain't going to win shit the rest of the year, according to Killback First. I tend to agree. All them people, once again, it just galls me how they'll jump on these bandwagons, like Colin Coward did with Linky Boy. Just jump on the bandwagon, man, and try to take shots at people and kick them while they're down, like they did Oklahoma. But Oklahoma is an old school blue blood. And Oklahoma and Alabama, teams like that, maybe even Ohio State, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And Michigan, well, I can't really say Michigan because they ain't won a national title this century, 1989, if you're still out there, brother. Yeah, y'all have sellers. The killer's fighting the tornadoes out there, and his internet connection is not so good sometimes, so he's having to deal with that kind of stuff tonight. I guess I could have had Killer on with me. I really didn't think about it tonight. I didn't know if he wanted to be on. I mentioned that I was going to be on, but I didn't know whether he really wanted to be on or not. And I've already had him on here 3 or 4 times, and I don't want to keep bugging the shit out of him. Jack says TBOW's coming to Tuscaloosa and is bringing Alex Grinch with him. Y'all keep on messing with me. And I'm going to tell you who is really coming to Alabama. Y'all going to make Lori have a coronary when I tell y'all. See, y'all want me to tell y'all who's really coming to Tuscaloosa? Do y'all really want to know? Just say the word. Just say yes, OCF. Come unto us. The football gods have come unto me, and the football gods have said unto me, this is the guy that will cometh unto Tuscaloosa when Nick Saban departs. Y'all want to know who the football gods have told me? Huh? Y'all want me to tell y'all? Just say yes. Or just say when. Like Doc Holliday did on Tombstone. Say when. Say when, I tell you. Go ahead and say it. Say when. Say when. Say it. Say when. Say when. One person, say when. Just say it. Say it. John Christophic says he wants to know, Lord. See? He knows I'm a wise man. I'm going to tell y'all. And Lori knows. She's already said it. It's going to be Brent Venables. Brent Venables will be at Alabama within 3 years. He will be here. He'll be the head coach at the University of Alabama, and he will be the first coach to have coached the two Crimson Nations. So there you go. There you have it. There's Nick Saban's successor, man. Y'all gotta learn how to share the wealth, man. Come on now. Y'all done had Brent Venables for a couple of years. Y'all can share. Damn. Lori. That made me say it, Lori. That made me tell you. Y'all kept needling me, man. Y'all kept needling me about that damn spastic out there, that Skittle shitter, out there wetting his diaper at the press conference. You didn't hear him coughing like that. He's setting that shit up. He knew he was about to call in. I used to do that shit when I used to work at this grocery store when I was younger, man. Whenever I would want to call in the next day or there's something I didn't want to have to deal with, I'd act like I was sick the day I was at work. That's what he did. That's what Linky Boy did, see. Him and old Mary Caleb Williams can't even come out there and back his coach up. Man got a Heisman Trophy. You're supposed to be leading by example, jackass. Get your ass out there on the podium. Take your damn fingernails and clean them, whatever. Get your little boys in the back. Get them to get that fingernail remover shit and take that fuck Utah off there. So y'all made me cuss, man. Y'all made me cuss, man. I'm going to get in trouble now. Take that F Utah off there. Get your back massage, your butt massage, or whatever it is you get. Bring your ass out there and face the music because that's what you're going to have to do in the NFL, brother. You're going to be another Vince Young, man. You're going to get in there and you're going to lose your damn noodle because people are going to criticize the hell out of you, Caleb. They're going to grill your ass to the max, especially if you end up somewhere like New York or Los Angeles. Well, you're already in Los Angeles, ain't you? So you should be used to that shit. But, you know, they don't really pay attention to college football in Los Angeles. They've admitted to that. Because they got shitty fans. Oh, it's because we got so much to do. No, y'all just ain't loyal fans, man. That's all. Y'all go from rooting for the Dodgers to rooting for the California Angels. Shit, you done got me on a tirade. I'm messing with Lord, but I'm also telling the truth. She knows it. She knows Brent Venables coming to Tuscaloosa. Hey, now that's just as bad, man. I'll be saying that shit either, Killer Breeze. Ain't no damn urban liar coming to Tuscaloosa, man. I'd like to have Kyle Whittingham. Since y'all want to be serious, if Kyle Whittingham wasn't about to retire, I'd like to have Kyle Whittingham. I know, Wade. Give him hell, Wade Harrell. Missing back, yeah, I know. Jack says, we have a dispensary or damn near every corner of Oklahoma City, and I love it. I don't drink much, but I will smoke a fat blunt every night. I don't do that shit, man. That stuff makes me hyperventilate. Seriously. And it ain't the kind of dope I smoked either. Every single time I've tried any kind of marijuana or marijuana-based stuff like brownie, it makes my heart rate speed up, man. It makes me feel like I'm having a heart attack. I just can't do it. What you laughing about? What you laughing about? Oh, we're in your damn tornado cellar and shit watching Twister with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton and shit. Oh, I love that movie. My favorite scene in that movie is when they're at their aunt's and they're sitting there eating big old fat ass steaks with fried eggs, man. That's some good stuff. They look good as hell. Oh hell, we done started a medical marijuana push up in here. Look at Jack. Jackson here. He's an advocate for smoking some weed, boy. Look, there comes Teresa Moser finally. Jesse, you are right. BV will be coming. She called me by my Christian name. I think she loves me. Jesse, you are right. BV will be coming to Alabama and bringing the Sooner Nation with him as head coach for the Oklahoma Sooners. See? Teresa finally deciphered what I was so confident about. The reason why I'm so confident that he will be here in Tuscaloosa, Lori, as a head coach, is because he's going to be coaching Oklahoma Sooners when they play Alabama in Tuscaloosa in 2 or 3 years. Because we come up there next year. We're going to come up there to the Gaylord Center, and we're going to own that shit. We're going to plant our flag right in the middle of the field, just like y'all did Ohio State. My bad. Ohio stank. All right. Y'all about to piss me off. Look here now. You done said Urban, you done said Con Time and Stinky Linky out there with the stench and Grinch defense. What y'all trying to do, man? Y'all trying to bring bad karma on a fellow Crimson Nation? Really? Damn, killer. Why don't you go over and roast a marshmallow? Go over and roast a marshmallow. I like it better when you're doing that shit, man. I like it better when you roast no marshmallow. Why don't you tell them who Marshmallow is, man? You don't want to give him that name, man. It wasn't me. They try to blame me for that shit, man. They try to say I give him Jason old dirty names, man, old bad nicknames. I make him fun of his 3 chins. Hey, Outlaw, let's have a marathon sometime, 24 hours. You know, I was going to do an up all night on Saturday night. It went pretty good, but I couldn't stay up all night. I started getting sleepy. What we can do this Saturday night, if you want to, I'll wait till all the games are over for those of you that can stay up. I know some of you can't stay up. I guess around 10:30 p.m. Central Time, which will be 11:30 Eastern Time. Maybe we can do an sort of up all night. Maybe we'll do college football till midnight. We'll do a 10:30 to 12 midnight and celebrate bringing in the new day of another college football weekend in the books. What do you think about that? Y'all want to do that Saturday night? Why would Brent go to Bama? We have a winning record, y'all playing, though, to continue the trend. Y'all ain't but 3-2-1 against us, Matthew. You act like y'all got some kind of astronomical lead over Alabama. I love Oklahoma. But let's not be petty now. Why would he come to Alabama? Because I said so. That's why, Matthew. Because JPC 316 said so. To steal a catchphrase from my favorite WWE wrestler of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I thought they already done Twister 2. When's that coming out? I'm going to go see that. Me and Teresa, we're going to get us some popcorn and I'm going to sneak a bottle of tequila in. Don't tell nobody I'm going to sneak some tequila in. Me and Killer Breeze. We're going to take Teresa and Lori out on a double date. We're going to get them liquored up at the movie theater. Well, there he is, my Michigan man. Missing. OCF live stream podcast is must-see content. Y'all excited for another good week of college football? Appreciate the hell out of that, brother. Appreciate you always plugging me. You can share me with some of your Michigan cohorts. I know y'all have an extremely large fan base. Y'all can give Michigan hell all you want, but they have one of the biggest supportive fan bases in America, if not the world. I must say, I know y'all are Oklahoma fans and y'all partial to Oklahoma, but I must say, Michigan probably has the coolest helmets of all time. I love the 3 stripes and the Wolverine like forehead or whatever that is on the front. I don't think he can either, Fred. Lori said that he wanted me to be on the show. Now she's backing off of it here lately. But I think she's backing off of it because she don't want me going after him and her be the genesis of it. Lori, you are the genesis of me and Killer roasting the marshmallow. You know, we was going to leave him alone until you told me that. Now me and Killer, we're going to get him. We got something planned for old Marshmallow. I ain't talking crazy about Oklahoma's head coach, Teresa. I'm saying he's going to come here to Alabama. He's going to be the head coach here. Now, I said it, it would probably just be him being a head coach here as Oklahoma. But I am really starting to think that maybe we might have an outside shot at getting Brent Venables to come to Alabama. Oh, Michael McCullough said he won't lie. Like Bill Clinton, he did inhale it. He inhaled the marijuana. Now, y'all can have all that shit you want. That shit makes me hyperventilate, man. Michael Dice is in the house. Looks like Michael lost his badge, man. What happened to your badge, Michael? USC stealing Riley away from OU is like a dumb guy stealing your girlfriend. You try to tell him that she has a case of VD, but I guess he'll have to find out for himself. Glad I saw that comment because that was a good one. Got a lot of people in here right now. If y'all want to get your comment read out like Michael Dice, I can't read them all out because they're coming up and down so fast on me. But there's a little donation button at the bottom of this video, a little dollar sign. Click on that, then write your comment out, then hit send. Because if you hit send, it's not going to show you comments. It's just going to be a blank donation. That way you get your money's worth, and I will read out your comment. It will push it to the top. If you want to donate something to the show. By the way, I'd like to see Teresa and Lori riding in the saddle. Wouldn't you, Killer? Y'all need to mount up. Y'all need to mount up, man, and get in the saddle. You need to join the Outlaw Posse. Y'all thought I was talking about something else, didn't you? Y'all thought I was talking about something else. Y'all got y'all's mind in the gutter, Lori and Teresa. $19.89 M's in the house still. OCF, when y'all started your run and beat Texas to win it all, Mark Ingram was my high school classmate. He was a smart kid and a good guy, loves football and loves his family. I'm glad he does 1989. Now, he does say some pretty ignorant stuff about BLM that I don't agree with. But other than that, he seems to be a pretty good old boy. What are you talking about? Killer ain't going to stick up for you. Me and Killer blood brothers. Y'all know that. He's my Oklahoma brother from another mother. That's Killer Breeze, Lori. I had him first. So hush. You better not. You better not. You better not, Killer. I see what you said. Oh, yeah, whatever. No, I won't. I'm going to have him. It's going to be like that movie, The Waterboy, when Coach Bouye tells Coach Klein, he wants that playbook, Teresa. Now, Teresa, we're going to have Brent Venables, or it's going to get awfully physical around here. I did have him at Skillshare. See, he ain't gonna tell you right now to your face, but he knows. No, man, I ain't messing with any kind of marijuana. Y'all ain't got on marijuana tonight. Won't let that shit go. I've tried 4 or 5 different varieties of marijuana back when I was younger. Every single time, Fred, my heart started palpitating and my chest turned red and I was hyperventilating. There's something about marijuana itself, the plant, that I think I'm allergic to. All right. I guess I've taken up enough of y'all's time today. Y'all see Darkest, Kness, Killer Breeze, Fred Bagley, Jack. They all got the badges. They've been deputized. If you want to be deputized and be in the outlaw posse, it's not but $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. It's a join button next to the subscribe button. If you're on an Apple phone, you may have to go to a laptop or computer because it doesn't mesh with YouTube memberships. You'll get your badge to be deputized, and you'll get a random Four Horsemen shout out on the podcast, as well as possibly be the comment of the day. The only reason I didn't call you out, Bebo, is because I can only see a limited amount of people on here when I'm doing the pitch. When I'm trying to pitch it, I can only see like I can only see like 8 to 10 comments at a time, and that's just the first badges I see. I call them out. I'm sorry. I apologize for that, brother. I didn't mean to leave you out. I'm glad you're in that Outlaw Posse, though, because you've been a real good supporter of this show, and I appreciate the hell out of you, brother. Who will be the next coach at Alabama? In all honesty, Alabama will probably ask Brent Venables first. If he continues doing what he's doing, they will at least ask him and make him say no, Lord. All kidding aside. And he will probably say no. I'm just aggravating y'all a little bit, but they will ask him if he continues doing what he's doing. And it should be a compliment to y'all, in my opinion. But right now, it's up in the air because Dabo Swinney's not looking good. The guy mentioned Leopold from Kansas earlier. Chris Kleiman from Kansas State. I like him. Billy Napier, if he can get together at Florida, maybe him. But would that be a lateral move for Billy Napier if he starts being successful at Florida? Kirby Smart's not coming to Alabama. People keep bringing his name up because he used to be defense coordinator here. He will not be coming to Alabama. That is his alma mater, and Georgia can match Alabama in money. So maybe we'll get Bob Stoops to come out of retirement. How you like that? Y'all said Bob Stoops won't come out of retirement for any other team, but I don't know. I beg to differ. Alabama come a calling, Bob Stoops may decide to come out of retirement. His brother Mark Stoops would be a good candidate as well. That's the ones that come off the top of the head. Marcus Freeman, to me, he's got a great personality at Notre Dame. He seems like he's righting the ship somewhat at Notre Dame. He's had a couple of losses, but he's had a couple of big wins. I like Marcus Freeman, too. I would love for him to come to Alabama. He'd be the first minority head coach at Alabama, too. So we could get that crap out of the way. Even though that's not the reason why you should hire somebody. You shouldn't hire somebody just to meet a quota. But I like Marcus Freeman a lot. Why? Why no Stoops, Lord? Why? Because he said he's not coming? Come on now. Y'all got to quit being naive on me. Because just because somebody says they're not coming somewhere doesn't mean they're not. Yes, Stoops would be awesome at Alabama. I agree with you, Bebo. See, this is the kind of fan that I appreciate here. This is nice. Darth Iskines says he wouldn't mind if Bob Stoops coach for Alabama. Why y'all got to be greedy, Lori? No, you can't be adding exceptions now. Y'all got BV. We're going to get Stoops. If we don't get Stoops, we'll get BV. You may take your choice now. Here we go again. Here's another one. No. No Jimbo. Hell no. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Elko is going to be big time at Duke. Yes, he's had one great season at Duke, but I'm just like with Leopold. Can you do it again? Be consistent. Leopold has showed that he can be consistent this year. So I'm actually starting to warm up to the idea of Leopold coming to Alabama. Bama is the Mecca, not USC. That is true. That is damn true. We are the Taj Mahal of college football. We are your 18-time national champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, brothers and sisters. I can't talk. Brothers and sisters. So I was going to get up out of here about 10 minutes ago. I haven't got up out of here yet. It's been great being on here with y'all once again. Like I said, if you want your badge, get deputized, hit that join button, next subscribe button, $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. Get your badge, get deputized. Get your random forceman shout as well as a comment of the day. Also, if you want to donate to the program, there's a donation button at the bottom of this screen. Highlight your comment. Get me read it out before I go. If you want to ask me any more questions. Also, this video will upload as a podcast after we get off of here. If you want to donate to the show through the heart thanks button, you can do that as well. But what do y'all think about Saturday night or Sunday night? We'll do both. What do y'all think? Saturday night, Sunday night? What do y'all think? Saturday night and Sunday night? Gonna do a live stream? Up all night with JPC? Up all night with the OCF Saturday night, then do one Sunday? We'll see. With that, I'm out of here. KMCA to all the other teams, except Alabama and Oklahoma. Class is now officially dismissed.